Alright, so I am Vielmette, and the article I'm going to be sharing today is A Disastrous Wave of Climate Effects Slams California by Thomas Fuller. So 2020 has been a very strange year. From the killer bees to the COVID-19 pandemic to the scare of war earlier in the beginning of this year. Now, we have yet another new scare, climate change. Unfortunately, when some people hear of climate change, they think of a political party, a certain political party, and immediately shut out any scientific thinking attributed to this to climate change. This article is telling of the enormous fires that are raging through the Pacific Northwest and my own hometown, and what the cascade effect is and the crisis in the nation's most populous state. San Francisco. Multiple mega fires are burning more than 3 million acres. Millions of residents are smothered in toxic air. Rolling blackouts, triple-digit heat waves. Climate change, in other words, of one scientist, is smacking California in the face. This crisis in the nation's most populous state is more than just an accumulation of individual catastrophes. It is also an example of something climate experts have long worried about, but which a few have soon to see coming so soon, the cascade effect, which is a series of disasters that overlap each other. The same could be said for the entire West Coast this week, Washington to Oregon, where towns are being decimated as firefighters are being stretched to their limits watching these infernos. California's simultaneous crisis illustrates how the ripple effect works. A scorching summer led to dry conditions never before experienced. The aridity helped make the season's wildfires bigger than ever recorded. 6 of the 20 largest wildfires in California's modern history have occurred this year. If climate change was somewhat of an abstract notion, maybe a decade ago, today it is all too real to Californians. The intensely hot wildfires are not only chasing thousands of people out of their homes and towns, but they're causing dangerous chemicals leaking into their drinking water, excessive heat warnings, suffocating air, threatening the health of people who've already been threatened by this pandemic we are now in. If you are in denial about climate change, come to California, said Governor Gavin Newsom. Officials are worried about this cascading disaster, and they did not think it would start this soon. We used to worry about one natural hazard at a time, said Alice Hill. Climate scientists say mechanism driving the wildfire is straightforward. Human behavior, chiefly the burning of fossil fuels like coal and oil, has released the greenhouse gases that increase temperatures, desiccating forests and priming them to burn. It's really shocking to see the number of fast-moving and extremely large destructive fires simultaneously burning, Daniel Swain said, a climate scientist. The fires also leave California with the difficult and costly long-term problems, everything from the effects of smoke inhalation to the dangerous drinking water situations. Wildfire smokes, in worst case, can be deadly, especially among older people. The patients experience respiratory problems, heart attacks, strokes. The coronavirus pandemic adds this new layer of risk to this already perilous situation. The longer we have bad air in California, the more we'll be concerned about these adverse health effects. 2 days ago, we were roasting inside windows, closed a heat wave to avoid these heavy smoke, Ms. Luton said. Today, we are cool and comfortable, but we're unable to see across the street due to the cloudy skies due to smoke from the air. With the aid of this pandemic and political menace, it's hard not to think that we're an unwitting bit of players in some sort of end of days movie. I feel as I'm somewhere I've never been before, Ms. Danza said. There were wildfires occasionally in my life here, which would quickly be fought and contained, but never do I remember 23 days straight of orange, oppressive, smoky skies. Leaving my house in fear I'd never return to it, or knowing someone whose home had actually been burned down already.